also for work, we have our morning call. It's mostly for half an hour, but when other people are giving their updates, that time also I have noticed that I have started doing Instagram and I'm engaged with my phone. Sometimes my parents are also like, "What are you doing? What kind of meeting are you attending? You're constantly on your phone. Like, what are you doing with it?"
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Is This Life, a podcast where we speak to Gen Zs about their life, what they're going through in life, their circumstances, how they're dealing with it all. And today we have with us Paki. Hey, Paki, how are you doing?
So, Praveen, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, and I'm really excited to chat with you.
Lovely. So, Paki, tell us something about your life, what's going on, where you're at.
So, I have done my master's in design. I plan to do things which are like learning new software, reading more books, all those things. I literally had a list of it. But ever since that, it's been 3 months. I'm not able to do any of that. It's been 3 months. I have been reading a single book. You can state that I am a procrastination queen and I've not been able to do things. Might be because I'm not in a scheduled manner. I'm not staying here in that manner. So it's quite difficult.
Okay, so let me just get this right. You have a full time remote job, right? Which itself, I'm sure there's plenty of responsibility there. Right.
Yeah.
But you also feel the need for having a routine or a schedule so
Yeah.
you can do all these other activities as well. And
Mhm.
because in the last 3 months you haven't been able to do it, somewhere you're feeling guilty about it.
So, to be very honest, my surroundings have always been like not suppressing, but very particular about your what you're doing or not, because we were not very exposed to things. In my 11th and 12th grade, we started using cell phones. That also only on weekends, on Sundays. So that was the starting point, which I started feeling like, oh, it's a step one of freedom. And I used to count days for weekends. So yeah. And now when I'm staying here at home, uh, it makes me very frustrated sometimes. Like, what should I do now? I have watched enough of Netflix. I'm not in mood to read also. So what should I do? So it's weekend that triggers me a lot.
So what triggers you is to have a lot of time and then not know
Mhm.
what to do with it.
So, I cannot keep my phone away for 15 minutes also. If I plan to uninstall Instagram, it makes me crazy. I've been planning to do the social media detox for a weekend. I tried to do it, but it was very difficult for me because on weekends I have nothing. Matlab, I don't do anything very productive to be very honest. So only thing which I do most of the time is to go through my phone or to use social media. So yeah, it's a big problem for me. It's a big problem.
Wow. It's interesting because there are two things. One is that you also can't live without it, right?
Hmm.
But the using
Yeah,
of it is also problematic, is what you're saying.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, now I'm very curious. What about it? What about it keeps getting you back on social media? Can we deconstruct that?
I don't know. I think it's been settled like subconsciously. I feel because if I'm talking to somebody also and I have my phone in my hand, I'm listening to him or her. On the other hand, I'm scrolling on Instagram also. So I think it's a big problem.
Oh wow. So have you ever tried tracking your social media usage and see how many hours are you spending on it?
It's more than I think 8 9 hours.
That's a lot
Mhm.
of time in the day.
I know.
Have you had these conversations with your friends and asked them how much time do they spend on social media?
So as far as I know, people are really addicted to it. They don't have anything to watch on phone, and they are not doing it consciously also. And I think it's a problem with most of us. Instagram is the problem. I don't know why. Even I don't know the scientific reason behind it, but it's very difficult to get away with it. Uh,
So, what all have you tried to get away so far?
Um, when I try to keep my phone away at night, like I try to keep it away from my room. I have done it for 2 days or 3 days. On the fourth day, I bring it back to my room. Apart from that, I have installed it. I installed it after 2 or 3 hours. So yeah, those are the, I think, things which I've tried.
So, keeping your phone away, uninstalling,
Yeah,
all of that hasn't worked.
hasn't worked. If I'm having a conversation with somebody, if I'm in a room full of people, I think I don't use phone that much. Or if I'm working, I have a tight deadline to give anything. So yeah, that's the time which haven't used the phone.
That seems like a major problem in the world, and more so because it seems to be beyond our control, right?
The attention span also, it's decreasing day by day. I'm not able to read like 20 pages at a go. So I think it's very difficult for us to like find a solution for it.
Tell me more about the attention span and how is that affecting you? Does this also affect your work and the amount of time you can focus on it?
So to be very honest, yes. If I have to do something like I don't want to get distracted with anything. I put my phone on flight mode or keep it away, like in a distance. So it's difficult for me to go and take it. So these are the things which I have been doing. Also for work, we have our morning call. It's mostly for half an hour, but when other people are giving their updates, that time also I have noticed that I have started doing Instagram and I'm engaged with my phone. Sometimes my parents are also like, "What are you doing? What kind of meeting are you attending? You're constantly on your phone. Like, what are you doing with it?" That it has stopped affecting me also.
Now it's kind of part of life.
Yeah.
It's not something you're even questioning on
Hmm.
a daily basis, is it?
Yes, they also get it now that it's not going away anywhere. They all have to deal with it. If they are asking for anything also, our phones are going with us. So my mom sometimes says like if I'm doing something with my one hand, she says like you have to put your phone away. One hand is not going to finish that work.
So your one hand is constantly occupied by your phone screen and
Yeah.
left with another hand to do work.
Yeah.
Is this how you think your life is going to be like? Or do you see yourself living another alternate life?
Um, so I really want to get away with it. I plan to do so many things. I wanted to finish my design lessons. Apart from that, I had a list of books which I wanted to read. I wanted to do so many embroidery things. Like I have things to do. It's not like I don't have things to do. I enjoy doing all those things as well. Everything is so has become so instant, like gratifications also, fun also. So you have been getting everything through social media. You're watching reels, they are funny, they are engaging. And the end of the when you're weighing it down, you feel like no, it's okay. It's okay to spend so much time on it.
I mean, I've seen people from my parents' generation who spend a lot of time in front of television.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people who still do. Perhaps if they were born with phones, they would have been addicted to phones just as we are in today's day and age. So there's something in us humans which kind of makes us addicted to these things. So yeah, phone addiction is a big thing. And just imagine if you plug it off, what would we really do?
So it's going to be a very different scenario altogether. It's very difficult to imagine also without internet. But yeah, I'll try to focus on things which I really want to do and which is on my to-do list, whether it's reading a book or cooking something for myself, or apart from that, if I have like started working on it but I haven't finished it, it's very difficult for me to complete things. So I think, yeah, I'll rewind and focus on doing things, completing things.
Okay, this brings me another question for you. Finishing something like embroidery that you started or reading a book, finishing it does something to self esteem. Is this over a period of time affecting your own self esteem or your own mental health or your own wellness in something?
So it somehow, whenever you are starting something new, it holds you back. So it's subconsciously you start feeling like you won't be able to do it. You won't be able to finish it. So what's the point to start anything different, to start things? Like, I don't know how to get rid of it, but
So you already feel like you won't be able to finish it because in the past you have not.
yeah, it also hinders, I think, your self confidence as well. At the end of the day, you are so fed up that you just want to finish it. You are not doing it with the same excitement or with the same energy. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Paki, for sharing about your life, you coming back to your home. Your social media usage has been very fascinating. I'm sure you're not the only one who feels this way. It's a love hate relationship. As much as we love it, we go back to it. That is where we have our community, that is where we have our friends, that's where we consume our kind of content. But then we are also prisoners to it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It was a great time chatting with you.
Thank you, Paki. I hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah.